Hey, what's up? Serpentine here, taking a look at the MOBA style space sim Fractured Space. Developed by the same people behind Strike Suit Zero, although they are now developing under a new name, Edgecase Games. Fractured Space has similar core mechanics with the popular MOBA genre, with 2 lanes to travel down and a structure in the enemy's base to destroy, or capture in this case. This game's version of a barren in the center of the map is a gas mining facility that becomes capturable a few minutes into the match, having both teams coming together for a large space battle. Capturing the gas mining facility will increase a bunch of your stats, including increased fire rate and increased movement speed, and just like barren buffs in other games, if you die, you lose the buff. Instead of continuous minion waves pushing down each lane, Fractured Space has opted with 3 capturable mining facilities in each lane. Capturing more of these facilities and your opponent will have you level faster than them and be able to become more powerful more quickly. Controlling the ships takes some time to get used to, particularly if you play other flying games like War Thunder, where the controls are mostly tied to the mouse. For Fractured Space, your mouse only controls the direction that your guns are facing. Actually maneuvering the ship will require the use of both the standard WASD keys to move on the Y-axis and the arrow keys to move on the X and Z axis. As for the available weapons and abilities on the various ships, it is a bit disappointing as most only have 2 or 3 to consider, especially when you take into account the size of the ships you control. It feels somewhat inadequate. Tapping into the MOBA genre as well, where most games have characters with 4 or more abilities available along with an auto attack, attacking with Fractured Space ships feels like you just hold down a button and every couple of seconds you hit another. I would have liked to see more interesting weapons and utilities to use on the battlefield to make it feel like you are actually controlling a massive space battleship. The ships also move extremely slow due to their size, so you can't really perform any strategic maneuvers, unless you're playing one of the ships with a short blink or with the overdrive ability, forcing you to play around your main movement ability in warping. There isn't really any strategy in the combat, and in a game like this there was definitely room for ship weak points or shields that require different weapons to take down. The strategy in the game instead comes from the team positioning. It takes time to warp to different areas of the map, of which there are 5, and after warping there is a short cooldown before you can warp again. Warping can't really be used as an escape plan either while in combat, so you will have to decide whether to fight or flee beforehand, because while preparing to warp, you take heavily increased damage and can be destroyed extremely quickly. If your team gets caught off guard and on the other side of the map, the enemy can charge down a lane and be able to warp into your base and start capping it for the win. To be able to warp to the enemy's base though, you do have to capture a point at the end of the lane. But as soon as that point is captured, anyone in the sector or lane can then start warping into the enemy's base no matter their position. The ships available to you at the beginning of the progression tree are introductory classes that then lead into more specializations later on. Out of the 3 available, you have a General Assault class, a Short Range Heavy class, and a Support class, with each class having their own separate progression tree. Examples of ships later on down the tree are an extremely long-range sniper class, a stealth class, and a close-range bruiser that deals more damage the closer you are to the target. You can also customize your ships with different upgrades and side grades in the tech tree, some of which are still a work in progress. Your ships will also need a crew, and you have 5 crew member slots to fill, with each crew member bringing different bonuses to your ship's performance, although the bonus difference for the members in each position is fairly minuscule. Other features of the game include a global leaderboard that ranks players via various different stats. You can also check out your own stats by visiting your own profile. Skins for your ships are available to purchase from the in-game store, along with the ships themselves and additional crew members using both in-game and premium currency. Altogether, Fractured Space is a competent version of a MOBA in space. However, there are some aspects to the game that could be fleshed out a little bit more. Weapons and abilities is probably the part of the game that needs the most work and can easily change the combat from the dull 2-button experience into a more exciting and tactical one, more representative of large capital ship combat. Apart from that though, the game can be quite fun when your team is working together and playing their ship's role properly, providing for extremely tense full team v team fights, with members of both teams warping in and out to change the course of the battle. Anyway, that's been my player preview for Fractured Space. The game is currently in early access alpha with plans to release as a free-to-play title sometime this year. If you want to find out more about the game, check out the links below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.